Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode, here today for part 25 for the Belgium Grand Prix, the final round before the summer break and our first sprint weekend of the season as well. So we come into sprint qualifying now, into the bus stop chicane at the end of our first lap, towards the end of the session. We come up to the line, we cross it, and that first lap is going to put us into P12. We went again, the same set of tyres, into the bus stop chicane. There's a bit of traffic in front of us, but that's not going to bother us at all. Out of the bus stop chicane, we've found 4 attempts. We're going to come up to the line and we're going to start the race, P10. So this is the grid then ahead of the Belgian sprint. It's Sonny Hayes on pole alongside the McLaren of Lando Norris. It's then Charles Leclerc and Piers, our teammate Villeneuve alongside Max Verstappen. Then it's Yuki Tsunoda and Nico Hülkenberg re-round out the top 10 alongside George. Then it's Albon and Ocon, Piastri and Lewis Hamilton, Behrman and Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll and Kimi Antonelli, Bortoletto and Jack Doohan, and on the final row of the grid for the sprint, it's Liam Lawson and Pierre Gasly. So then, as the 5 red lights come on ahead of the Belgium sprint, we're racing here at Spa and we've got a fairly okay start. We're going to look to go to the inside of George Russell in the Mercedes and we're going to be late on the brake up the inside. We've nearly got our teammate there, nearly a bit of contact. Now it's a drag race down towards Eau Rouge and we have got our teammate. It's been a great start into La Source, down through Eau Rouge we go, up over the hill at Radion, and now we're after Piers in the apex. But are we going to be left defending our teammate? I don't think that Villeneuve's got a good enough run, but here we're going out on the apex. We're going to force him to go to the inside and then go right round his outside and take that place, but we've run a bit wide. Piers is going to try and get back round the outside of us, but he's had to back out of that one and live to fight another day. And we've gone from P10 to P4 on the opening lap of the sprint. As just in front of us, this is Charles Leclerc going for it on Lando Norris and taking the place, and now we're going to look to try and get the McLaren as well up the inside. We're a bit too far back to get the job done on our fellow Brit Lando Norris, and then we fell back into Piers and he is all over us. He's pushing us down the straight and there's absolutely nothing we can do about that. He's not our race anyway. We're going to try and keep ahead of him, try to get him round the outside, but we couldn't, and we have to live to fight another day. But we were just managing to stick with him for a couple of laps in the sprint. We were holding off Tsunoda, who's got our teammate Villeneuve, and this was kind of just our race now. As now Piers got away from us, and now here he is on the back of Charles Leclerc, going to take that sprint podium away from him. And into P3 it goes. Piers in the apex and takes that place, but up front Sonny Hayes has controlled the sprint as he goes into the bus stop chicane for the 8th and final time. He is going to win the Belgian sprint ahead of Lando Norris and Piers. It's going to be P4 for Charles Leclerc, and we are going to come home for a great P5 in the sprint race. So this is the result then of the sprint. Sonny Hayes wins it ahead of Lando Norris. Piers rounds out the top 3. Leclerc is 4th, and we get that very good P5 from P10. The opening lap giving us that result. And then down at the back, everyone finished, but it was Lance Stroll who was last for the sprint. So we come into qualifying now for the proper Grand Prix and into the bus stop chicane. We're out of it. We've gone purple in the first sector, and that first lap is going to put us then into P5. But now we skip on to the end of the session. We've found 2 temps on this lap and we've gone purple again in the first sector, but we're going to come up to the line. We're going to start the race, P7. So this is the grid then ahead of the Belgium Grand Prix. It's an all apex front row lockout with Piers ahead of Hayes. Then it's Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton and Esteban Ocon, We are P7 alongside Piastri. George and Verstappen round out the top 10. Villeneuve and Sainz, Albon and Lawson, Bortoleto and Yuki Tsunoda, Kimi Antonelli and Nico Hulkenberg. Then it's Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly, and on the final row of the grid is Jack Doohan and Oliver Bearman. So as the cars make their way now onto the grid ahead of the Belgium Grand Prix, we've had a pretty decent sprint. Can we do the same again in the Grand Prix? It's looking like a fairly comfortable one-stopper today. Started on the mediums, going to the hards later on. But as the final cars find their grid spots, the 500 lights can come on for the Belgian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go here at Spa. We've got a fairly decent start then. Not as good as a sprint, but we're going to look to go late on the brakes at the inside of the half there of Ocon. On the outside of him is Leclerc. As now we head down towards Rouge. We're coming across to cover off Ocon. He's made contact with us and he spun us round. Leclerc is down as well off the track. We're spinning round. We've somehow pointed the car back in the right direction. Leclerc has half of his front wing missing and we are all the way down at the back. We didn't know Leclerc was on the outside of us and we've gone spinning down Rouge towards Rouge. But at the end of lap 1 we've managed to catch the pack again, and now we're on the back of the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, up the inside of the Aston Martin. That's going to turn to the outside for the second part of the bus stop. We're going to find extra traction, we're going to get the job done. Now on the other half of Bearman, make contact with the other one as we nearly hit the back of several cars there. Nearly hit the back of the Sauber, nearly hit the back of the Alpine, but we've got both of them. And what's been a shocker of a start, we seem to have decent pace to catch them back up, and now hopefully carry on and get our way back into the points, as now we look to go to the outside of the Sauber and are absolutely leaving him for dust down the straight. He's had to back out of it. That is that with the Sauber. In front of us now is Tsunoda. This is a replay of the start though. Out of last source we've got a good exit. We are now looking at Ocon, trying to squeeze him to the inside, but we didn't know Leclerc was there, and then that's us making contact, spinning down the hill. We've somehow got away without any flat spots there, but we've dropped all the way down to the back. Very scary crash as well, some of the speeds we've been carrying there. This is Leclerc's point of view. You can see us here just minding his own business, and then out of nowhere he's got us in the side of him, taking off his front wing and ruining his race as well as ours. Ocon was the innocent party, just got sandwiched, as this is his point of view now. Coming out, he's got us on the right, Leclerc somewhere on the left, and now we're just coming over. It's our fault or racing incident, whatever way you want to look at it. But Ocon's come off the best, and me and Leclerc both come off the worst, and Leclerc's come off worse than us as he's going to the softs and putting on a new front wing, so Leclerc's race is ruined, as now we are starting to get our way back through those in front of us and trying to get back towards the top 10. As we get past Doohan there, they're battling a little bit behind us now, as now we're on the back of the Mercedes of Antonelli, up the inside of the Mercedes, and we've got the job done, and that is now all the way up into P14. Now we're on the back of the other Sauber of Bortoleto into Lecon, late on the brakes, getting the job done. We're flying here in Spa. We've got great pace, and now we're on the back of the Red Bull there, now trying to have a little look round the outside at Le Source. Out of tail 1, we've got great traction on Lawson there, the Red Bull that we should be in, but up over the hill, over top of Radion, is Lawson going to have his back here? He's got a great toe, he's going to have the DRS as well. We're really going to squeeze him to the outside, but he has got that place. We have to live to fight another day, but we're going to be late on the brakes. Go back down the inside and keep that Red Bull in the mirrors, and now hopefully get down the road after the Williams of Alex Albon going down the straight now. Is it going to be the inside? Yes it is. Late on the brakes, we're a little bit too far back, but we're going for it anyway, and we get the job done there on the Williams, and that's put us back into the top 10. And now in front of us, this is Verstappen battling then George Russell in the other Mercedes. As you can see, Villeneuve just up the road battling a Ferrari as Max gets George, and we follow him through. George has been double teamed there and now hunting down Max. So now we head into the bus stop chicane. We're a little bit too far back to have a go on Max, as he's actually got past Hayes. But at the end of lap 10, we're going to come into the pits to make our one and only stop of the day if everything goes to plan, which it hasn't so far today, but hopefully this is one part of it that will work out. So the mediums will go off, the hard tyre will go on, but it's very, very slow. It's slow on the front left, and that's going to cost us a bit of time and ruin some of our hard work to start getting back through the field. And it has, because we've lost out to George, who we got a couple of laps ago, and now we're going to have to repass the Mercedes, hopefully quickly, as we go down through a Rouge, over the top of Radion, and now down the Kemmel straight. Have we got the Mercedes here? We're getting closer and closer to him. This is a great camera angle as we're getting closer and closer to the back of that Mercedes, and we have got him, and it's a great move there. Next up the road is Max Verstappen. We can turn our attentions back to the Dutchman, as now we're going to be late on the brakes. We can't find a way past Max there, but we've got great traction as he's being held up by the Sauber to go all the way around the outside of Max at the bus stop chicane. It's an unbelievable move, especially on Max. It's impossible to get past him round the outside inside, but we've made it look very easy there. Now on the back of both of the Saubers, and we're going to do both of them late on the brakes. Job done, both Saubers in the mirrors. What a move that is. We've put some distance now between ourselves and Max as the two Saubers start to fight a little bit. Up the road next though for us is our teammate Villeneuve, and Villeneuve's got to think something today surely after we're spinning round him. We've caught him up again by lap 13 of this race, but now this is Lawson slowing down, and that's a big engine failure. The Honda engine in the back of that Red Bull has gone bang. His day is over, and it's turning into another miserable day for Red Bull. They're having a pretty shocking season, as now we've caught the back of our teammate at the end of lap 13. Just a couple more laps to go, 8 more laps to go as we cross the line. We've got a good exit, and we are going to go to the inside of Villeneuve. We've gone deep on the brakes so into La Source, but we've found the traction on the exit to get past our teammate. And now this is Leclerc, who hasn't really recovered from that opening lap crash, and now he's got some sort of issue and he's had to pull over to retire. Maybe there was some sort of suspension issue as we get past the Williams there of Albon to take that place as he pits for, he looks to be 2 stopping today, very interestingly. But somehow we find ourselves in P5 in this race after spinning round on the opening lap. Big incident, and it's just all gone to plan. Getting our way back through the field, we've had such good pace as this is the fight for the lead as Piers goes side by side with Lando Norris, flew Blanchimon, and it's a great move for the lead of the Grand Prix going on to the final lap. It's very much turning into a title fight between these two. That could be crucial come the end of the season, especially because Lando couldn't hang on, and Piers is going to win once more this season. He wins the Belgian Grand Prix from Lando Norris, from Hayes. It's the same top 3 as it was in the sprint, and we are going to come home for P5 behind the other McLaren of Oscar Piastri.
What a performance performance this has been from Joshua Pearce, who takes the checkered flag to win the race.
And 3 wins in a row now, of course, thrown the gauntlet down. The drivers are out there now. They realise that they are the target. They're the ones to beat. They've got the energy, they've got the momentum on their side.
And the top 3 venturing onto the podium to begin the celebrations.
So that's been your Belgium Grand Prix then, won by Pearce with an incredible move on the penultimate lap down the inside at Blanchimont. Lando Norris comes home for P2, Sonny Hayes rounds out the top 3, and it's the same podium then as it was for the sprint. We come home then for a great P5 after that incident at the start of the race, and I think that's a very good recovery drive. Down at the back then, Liam Lawson and Charles Leclerc were the 2 retirements today, with Jacques Villeneuve last on the road. In terms of the World Championship now, and Pearce has a 21 point lead over Lando Norris in P2. That move could be very crucial with just 3 races to go this season, including 1 more sprint in Brazil. Sonny Hayes is P3, and we somehow still find ourselves P4, and we've re-jumped Max Verstappen into that position as he rounds out the top 5 now. And then down at the back, there's still multiple drivers still yet to score this season, with Bortoleto still bottom. In terms of the constructors then, and Apex have had a good weekend and really taken control of that now. 59 points is their gap to McLaren. We still find ourselves P3 ahead of Ferrari with Aston Martin, and then it is just Alpine who are still yet to score this season. So that's been your Belgium Grand Prix weekend. A good result in the sprint and a great comeback drive in the actual race. Next though, we go to Zandvoort after the summer break, where we once again, like we were at Silverstone, will be racing in reverse. I'll see you at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. Goodbye.